If you had to take one guess as to where I'm at currently, you probably wouldn't guess I'm on the Gettysburg battlefield. We are in the Rose Woods, and we have a mission today. And our mission is to find one of the least visited monuments or markers on the Gettysburg battlefield. That is the monument of Captain Henry Fuller of Company F of the 64th New York. His monument lies somewhere back here in the Rose Woods. And we're going to find it, and we're going to pay homage to Mr. Fuller's sacrifice here today. Now, to orient you, we are in the Rose Woods, and just through here is the Wheatfield. And running along this direction here is the stone wall that was manned by the 17th Maine. So we essentially entered on the right flank of the 17th Maine, just over the stone wall here. So we entered in this general area, and there's a waterway to our right, a small little creek. And somewhere back here is the monument to Captain Henry Fuller of the 64th New York. Now, to give you some backstory as to how his marker even ended up in the middle of Rose Woods, on July 2nd of 1863, the fight for the Wheatfield was raging. 17th Maine and de Trobriand's brigade were being pushed back, and fresh reinforcements under Caldwell's division were surging into the Wheatfield now. Captain Fuller was commanding Company F of the 64th New York Infantry Regiment, who was a part of Brooke's brigade. And they'd be surging through this area, pushing back Anderson's Georgia Brigade, across the Wheatfield and into the Rose Woods here, like you see before us. Now, it's important to note that these woods probably have a lot more foliage than they did at the time of the battle. So although it's kind of clear in this area, the Rose Woods, you gotta remember a lot of this would have been tramped down by wildlife and livestock that was in this area. So the 64th New York would surge through this area along with the rest of Brooke's brigade and push back the Confederate forces to present-day Brooke Avenue. Now, near the top of that ridge, their early success was short-lived because you had a fresh brigade of Georgians under Semmes making this area. And he would push back Brooke's brigade back through the Rose Woods here. And while doing so, Captain Fuller was struck in the leg. Now, a private by the name of George Whipple of Company F saw Fuller wounded. He'd pick up Fuller, and they'd begin to make their way through this area here. We're pretty close to the marker. It's in this general area. We're about to find it, though. I feel it. I feel it. So, as Private Whipple was carrying Captain Fuller, another bullet would tear through Fuller's back, exit out of his shoulder, and Fuller would be killed in action here in these woods. Now, Private Whipple himself would be captured by a Georgian who demanded he go to the rear, you dead SOB. Now, you know what SOB stands for. I don't have to say it in this video, but that's what Private Whipple was told, and he was captured, trying to save his captain here. And the 64th would be pushed through the Rose Woods here back to where they started in the Wheatfield. Now, Captain Fuller's body wouldn't be recovered until July 4th of 1863. So his body laid in these woods for 2 whole days. All right. Dustin has found the marker. He's my spider catcher and scout. And if you ever want to work for Project Past, hey, look, a turtle. If you ever want to work for Project Past, I offer no pay, long hours, and you'd regret being my friend. So just through these trees here is Captain Fuller's marker. Now we're going to make our way around this creek so we can see it from the front side. All right, I think we found a way to cross. If you're asking if it's worth getting infested with ticks and poison ivy, 100%. Who knows when the last time someone visited Fuller's marker here. Now, that's not where his body currently is. His body was brought home to Little Valley Rural Cemetery in New York. But that is the general location where Fuller fell. Walked through some thorns there, but that's all right. We're about to find Fuller's grave. Marker, I should say. Almost there. All right. Here we are. Captain Henry V. Fuller, Company F, 64th New York. Killed in this spot, or near this spot, July 2nd of 1863. So just to kind of reorient you. 64th New York would have pushed through this way to modern day Brooke Avenue. They were pushed back, and in these woods just before us here, he would suffer his first wound in the leg. Private Whipple would assist him to this location right here, where a bullet would tear through his back, enter out his shoulder, and Captain Henry Fuller would be killed in action here at Gettysburg. And I would say the Wheatfield, we came from this direction. I would say the Wheatfield is probably 75, 80 yards in that direction. And we pretty much just followed, there's a small waterway by the stone wall by the 17th Main. We followed that here, and then we saw the marker just across the way. So we backtrack, came through this direction here. And here's the marker to Captain Henry Fuller. I am so happy we were able to find that marker. A lot easier than I first anticipated, thanks to Dustin. But yeah, I'm happy we found it, paid our respects, and hopefully, maybe in the wintertime, maybe more people will come out here. It'll probably be a lot easier to find. A lot of this underbrush won't be here. But yeah, Captain Henry Fuller, 64th New York, killed in action in the woods just behind me here. Thanks for watching, and as always, we're gonna catch you on the next one.